I've got both burners on about medium heat. Now, what I got is a couple of cups of chicken stock in here. Chicken broth that you can buy. And now what we're going to do is we're going to flavor this chicken stock or this chicken broth up a little bit. Give it some love. Going to get a little bit of salt. Some fresh ground pepper. And then we're going to kick it up a little and put a little bit of liquid crab oil in there. Ooh. Oh, man, this will... Let me tell you, things like briskets and ribs even, beside just like crabs and shrimp and crawfish, fantastic to flavor some meats. Now what we're going to do is this. We're going to take a little mirepoix. That would be carrots, celery, and onions. We're going to cook that mirepoix inside of this stock. That's right. Rough chop on all of that stuff. After you clean your celery, you just want to kind of rough chop it like this. Same thing with the carrot. All we want to do is we want to kind of rough chop the carrot like such. And the same thing with the onion. You cut it in half to get your base. And then what you do is, depending on the size dice you want, you just do that and then do that little trick. And then look, you got a nice dice like that of your onion as well. Now, we're going to season that with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then, once that comes up to a little simmer, now it's time for the pork butt. What I like to do is take the pork butt, or the pork shoulder, season it both sides with my Creole seasoning. Okay? Little essence, you know. Season it up. And then what I like to do is put it inside of this thing here, bring it up to a boil, that liquid. And then what you want to do is basically, we want to let that cook for about an hour and a half. An hour and a half. Now, you've probably seen on a lot of shows how pork butts are done roasted for a slow amount of time, for a long period of time in the oven. Well, what's going to happen is this. Now, an hour and a half goes by that this thing simmers. And what you're going to do, it's going to start getting tender. That's why we did this, you see? It's going to start getting tender. Now, I want to take the pork butt out of this spiced liquid that's just making it so happy, so full of love. And what we're going to do now is, on about 300 degrees, we're going to slow roast this. We're going to slow roast this for about another hour and a half, just until that meat starts falling off the bones for that pulled pork. While that's happening, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take and we're going to strain out some of our vegetables. Watch this. We're going to strain out some of our vegetables and some of this delicious liquid. And the reason for that is because we need about 2 cups of these vegetables. I don't like wasting these vegetables. I don't like wasting food, period. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take these vegetables, and inside of the food processor, we're going to add those vegetables in there. We're going to add some diced ginger and diced garlic inside of that. Then what we're going to do, I've got cumin, brown sugar. We're going to add that in here. Nice spice. Then what we're going to do is this. We're going to add some regular just ketchup. Just regular ketchup. Going to add that. And then I've got some apple cider vinegar, some hot sauce to kick it up a few notches, some Worcestershire sauce, salt and pepper, okay? And that's what we're going to do, is we're going to blend this in this food processor to make a kicked up ketchup. It's perfect, perfect time. Because now after you shred it like this, look at how tender it is. Just so yummy. Now what we're going to do is make these incredible pulled pork wraps. I'm going to take that shredded pork meat, and then what we're going to do, shred that whole thing. We're going to take that homemade delicious barbecue sauce that we made, and it's got this really delicious, really delicious little flavor because the vegetables in there, I don't want to totally soak it all. And look, if you got a lot of this stuff left over, don't worry about it because you can keep it inside of the ice box. But the roasted vegetables, and I added about maybe 2 cups of that, and about a cup and a half of the actual liquid itself that had that crab oil in there. You want to talk about absolutely delicious. Now, we're going to do this mountain bread. And you're probably saying, what is that? Well, you can buy them in these packages. And you undo them like this. They make incredible little wraps. Watch this. Yeah, we're going to undo it. There's probably 2 in this package here. See that, how big that is? All right, here's what I like to do. We'll do this one first. You can either spread a little bit of that barbecue sauce on the base of your mountain bread like such. And then what you can do is take some of that pulled pork meat. Now you fold this side in so it doesn't come out. Fold this side over, okay? And then what you do is you just wrap them like a sort of a big burrito like that. Now, you know if you work with tortillas or mountain bread, etc., what's going to happen, right? If you don't cover these with a damp towel or wrap them, they're going to kind of dry out and get stale. The other thing that I do is until the guys and the gals come over, sometimes what I do is do these ahead of time and I'll wrap them in foil like this. Because then you can keep them, even make them ahead of time, keep them in the ice box, and when your guests come over to watch that, that 4 o'clock game or that early evening game, you can just blast them in the oven with your other ingredients.